Hi everyone, it is day 46 of my live 77 video challenge, Heart and Soul with Evelyn. I just want to continue on with my story. Yesterday, I spoke about living in Germany, 1989, and how I ended up going to America, and I did end up getting interviewing with Delta Airlines, and I did get the job. However, I still needed to go back and just secure a few things in Germany because I was actually still working at a military bank. So I went back to Germany from the States, from visiting in the States, end of October. So there was a lot going on. So when I left, they were having all of these sort of peaceful demonstrations. Right as I left, they were having something which was called the Leipzig demonstration. They were peaceful demonstrations, and they began in September. And you know, East Germans, they were just unhappy with the economic situation. Hungary had opened its borders. Poland was starting to lift communism laws in Russia. Mikhail Gorbachev was also being more open with the communism things. I don't know everything about history, but I do know that there were these huge peaceful demonstrations which started in Leipzig in September. They started at the St. Nicholas Church in Leipzig. They were sort of prayer meetings, and protesters, they just wanted freedom. They wanted travel rights. They wanted political changes. Now it grew from hundreds of people in September to 70,000 by October 9th and 300,000 by November. Now they wanted things to change. The government threatened violence, but the protests stayed peaceful. Now there were similar demonstrations across East Germany. Now, this was forcing the government to make reforms and to loosen travel restrictions. But they didn't know what to do. The government didn't know what to do. However, on the 9th of November, East German official Gunther Schrabowski, he mistakenly announced that people could cross the border immediately. So crowds gathered, and border guards, they were confused and overwhelmed and opened the gates. So this historic moment ended communist rule and led to German reunification in 1990. Now, it wasn't just a wall that was surrounding West Berlin. I just want to show you this map again. So as I was speaking earlier, where the red is, that is the former East Germany. So they also had this border from in the middle of Germany was dividing it. So Berlin, which is right here, was divided with a wall. A wall was surrounding West Berlin, East Berlin, dividing it. And then, of course, in the middle of the country, through here, there was fortification, and there was also a wall, a fence that is this is so tough. And this is a piece of that fence which was cut down in an area called the Fulda Gap. I just want to show you a photo that I have right here. So this photo right here is the young girl right here is right there where my finger is. That's my cousin. She's actually 42 years old now, or maybe 43. But anyway, this is my cousin Tanya, and next to her is a family friend, Lotte. But they're actually watching as the fence is being torn down between East and West. This happened right around, of course, you know, on the 9th of November, is, of course, when people stormed in from East Berlin to West. However, it did take a while for the fence to be cut down. And so this was in the 90s when the fence was actually cut down, or maybe close to end of the 90s, 91. And my mom, she actually asked the gentlemen that were cutting down the fence there if she could have a piece of the fence. So here's that fence. So she got it. I don't know what she did. She went to a woodsmith or whatever, a carpenter or joiner or whoever does that. And then she just had this little bit of, so it says a piece of the Iron Curtain, and on the top here it's taken from the fence between East and West Germany at the Fulda Gap. I don't know what these numbers are. I've been trying to figure that out, but I don't know. And then of course it's got the date when that happened. However, of course, this fence wasn't taken down probably till a year later. So I've got a piece of the fence. And yeah, so I thought I would share that because I find that quite interesting. So there you go. I just wanted to share some history from the Berlin Wall coming down. And because of the changes, a lot of airlines decided that they needed to employ more people. I was employed during this time to work for Delta Airlines. I am going to talk about Delta Airlines and what happened with my career. What was pretty long, well, almost 8-year career with Delta Airlines, but I'll share that story tomorrow. It's been an absolute pleasure being outside for a change. The cicadas are gone, and it's not so hot. It feels beautiful out here right now. So this is Evelyn. This is day 46 of my live video challenge, and you're listening to Heart and Soul with Evelyn. Until tomorrow.